everybody. Hello everybody. This is Lucid Layla. And this is already podcast number 3. I decided to do this as a kind of daily challenge and see how long I can keep up with it. And this morning I actually just talked about lucid dreaming supplements, and I shared my opinion, kind of saying, if it's for you, go ahead and try it, but it isn't a guaranteed trick to lucid dreaming, and it can definitely be achieved without supplements as well. And to kind of follow up with that, I would like to talk about those very, very popular lucid dreaming masks that you can also buy on the internet. One of them is the Remy. It used to be a Kickstarter and it got crowdfunded on the internet. And I personally tried the Remy because back in the day when they were just starting out, one of my friends actually bought it from Kickstarter. And hell yeah, I'm gonna try to see how that helps me. So I was very, very excited about the Remy, and I thought, wow, this is genius. Just to give you a little bit of background how these masks work, you put them on your face, and then inside they have a timer. The more basic ones, which were the Remy 2 at the time, they have a timer, and they know after how many hours after you put them on you're most likely to be in your REM cycle. And once you hit that phase, they kind of signal light patterns. For the Remy, it was red light patterns to your eyes. And obviously you're gonna have your eyes closed, but as you know, when someone shines a light on you, even when you have your eyes closed, you're still gonna perceive that light and potentially wake up. Now these lights are way more subtle than someone shining a flashlight at you. In fact, they're more like small little red dots that you barely feel. And so they're subtle enough to not completely wake you up, but they're definitely there for you to notice. And the intention of those sleeping masks is for your body to perceive those red dots subconsciously, but to not fully wake up. So in other words, subconsciously you would incorporate them in a dream. Let's say you're dreaming about a beautiful summer night, and then you see a red dot on the horizon. All of a sudden you're like, that's the sun, but it's transforming to a red dot, what does that remind me of? Oh, you know what, I just remembered I put on the sleeping mask last night, and now I'm seeing a red dot in my dream, so therefore I must be dreaming. This is how these very simple, basic dreaming masks work. Now, at the time, I think it was 2 years ago when I tried it, there were also other masks coming out that were more expensive. The Remy at the time was $150 or something like that. And then there were more elaborate masks which actually measured your brain activity. Don't ask me how. You put on a headband and they kind of measured your, I guess, electromagnetic waves around your brain, something along those lines. Others, they had motion sensors in the headband. So when you move around, basically you're not in sleep paralysis, and then in other phases your sleep paralysis is going to be stronger, and from that the sleeping mask basically derives your sleeping state and defines the optimal point in time when to signal you those light signals. Other ones, they're vibrating. So you can see there's already a variety, and the demand is there because those guys made some money with those lucid dreaming masks, and it's promoted widely across the internet. And now to my experience with those sleeping masks. So it's very similar to the lucid dreaming leaf or other lucid dreaming supplements that I refer to in my old podcast. I I did have lucid dreams in the night where I wore the mask. However, I'm almost 100% certain that the expectation played 90% of a role in having that lucid dream. And here's why. There was a phase where when I was living in this really dark place for 6 months and there was not much going on other than intensive studying for a grad test, the GRE, I had enough time to set the expectations to have lucid dreams, and I had a really decent success rate of lucid dreams too, which further encouraged me to believe in my own abilities to have lucid dreams. So that inherent belief made me very confident that I could have lucid dreams, and every night before I go to sleep I would be like, well, obviously I'm going to have a lucid dream. I'm definitely going to have a lucid dream. And I was so convinced and determined that it was going to happen that my subconscious mind literally just programmed that to happen. I think for me that's one of the most crucial prerequisites for having a lucid dream: believing in your own abilities, expecting it like it already happened, and then obviously minimize the factors that would prevent you from lucid dreaming, such as lack of sleep, interruptions, too much noise, things like that. So when I tried the lucid dreaming mask, it definitely triggered lucid dreams. I also felt I was more aware of something being different than usual. So that's something Giz Edwards, another lucid dreamer that's also publishing on YouTube, oftentimes mention. If you want to lucid dream, put yourself in different situations. So for example, when he travels, he experiences more lucid dreams. And why is that? Well, you're going to sleep in different beds. Some of them may be more comfortable, some of them may be less comfortable. And subconsciously, your body is going to notice that. And being in a different state, being in a different position or in a different bed, you're going to be more aware. It's just evolutionary. If, I guess when we're all Neanderthalers and we were in a new place, not in our well-protected cave, we were probably more aware of our surroundings and subconsciously more alert. And that subconscious alertness and that wakefulness and that mindfulness really helps you to trigger lucid dreams. And so what I was experiencing was I felt the pressure of the face mask on my face. I do not recall seeing the red lights. I do not recall getting lucid from red points whatsoever. But I literally felt the pressure of the face mask in my dreams and during sleep. And I remember that feeling kind of triggering lucidity. Not like very deliberately, like, oh wow, I feel this, therefore I must be lucid. No, it was just like, bam, I knew this was a dream and I just had a lucid dream. That's, by the way, how I get most of my lucid dreams. It's not even that I have to draw a lot of conclusions. I just know. I wish I could draw more logical conclusions, because one of the most recent and most reoccurring dream themes of mine is, for example, that in my dreams I have old cell phones that don't work, or I try to call someone but the number's all gibberish, or my phone runs out of battery but it's an emergency and I really gotta call someone. Things like that. So yeah, overall the increased expectation, one, and the increased awareness through a different physical state, meaning pressure on your face, that really triggered the lucidity for me. And at that time, I was not sleeping with a normal sleep mask during night, so having any kind of pressure on my face was new and was triggering that lucidity for me. 2 years later, now, I actually do sleep with a regular sleeping mask on my face. And that is because I'm very sensitive to light. I'm a very light sleeper. And also I'm very sensitive to noise. So actually for years already, I always sleep with earplugs in. I don't know about you guys. Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear whether you just sleep by yourself with no tools, or whether you have a normal sleeping mask or earplugs in while you sleep. I personally am so dependent on those two things right now that I don't even know how to fall asleep without those anymore, actually. Or if I don't have my face mask, I would wake up really early in the morning once the first sunlight comes out, even if I have all my windows, covered with drapes, which is really unfortunate because it takes away a lot of spontaneity for naps and stuff like that. Yeah, even in the most quietest surroundings, guys. Again, somewhere in a town with 1,000 inhabitants, literally no noise, and I'm by myself in an apartment in an extremely quiet house, I would put my earplugs in because I could literally hear owls at night through very thick stone walls. That's how good my ears are. It's really annoying. Yeah, so those are the tools that I use for sleeping. Normal sleeping mask and earplugs. That really helps me to stay in a dream, not getting woken up by some random noise in the morning. If you have roommates, for example, or if you're living with your spouse, they might use a restroom or they bang doors in the house, like my current roommate, which is extremely annoying. That just wakes you up in the morning. And in the morning is where you really have that lucid dreaming real estate. That's where you have the best lucid dreams, because your sleep cycles are actually getting longer the longer you sleep. So if you want to Google that, sleep cycles, you're going to see basically a graphic that shows after 6 hours of sleep where you get your deep sleep in, your first sleep cycle starts, which is about 2 minutes of dream state, and then the next sleep cycle starts, the second one with REM, that's about 20 minutes or 10 minutes, and then from there it just builds and builds. Then the third one would be 15 minutes, and depending on how long you can sleep, God bless your soul if you can sleep 12 hours, sometimes that's what we need, but then probably we're so exhausted that we're gonna get more deep sleep anyways. I remember when I was in school and I had summer vacation, I was just so exhausted and I just wanted to sleep in all day. I would have the most beautiful lucid dreams, and I would be able to go through all these sleep cycles in the morning and go to the really late ones. At my peak, I swear I had lucid dreams that lasted for 2 hours at around maybe 11 a.m. in the next morning, when I went to bed, in early morning, like 1 a.m. or something like that. And it was wonderful because those dreams are very vivid, very long, very stable. That was kind of at the beginning of me lucid dreaming, but then more recently, as you grow and you get more experienced, you actually notice or develop the ability to also have lucid dreams right after you go to sleep, or very early in the stages where you're not even having an REM sleep. And I can't really explain why. I know that it's people prove that, scientifically, they show that yes, dreams can occur during those deep sleep phases. Usually those dreams have been recorded to be more basic though, dreaming of, light or warmth or something very, very basic, not really as elaborate as the REM sleep. The REM sleep is really that part of the sleep cycle where you merge all the impressions from the day. You make new creative connections in your brain. That's where learning takes place and all that good stuff. But I already see we're approaching the end of this podcast. I want to keep it to 15 minutes max. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and give me a thumbs up. I would love to keep doing this, and let me know what you want to hear for the next topic. Stay lucid, stay aware, stay awesome. Bye bye.